Yes, you read the title of this video correctly. Your 9 to 5 is not a prison to your financial freedom. It is not trapping you, it is not blocking you from your financial freedom. You're the one who is making your job a prison to your financial freedom. In reality, you are able to turn your job into something that can fund and actually get you to financial freedom faster and more realistic than anything possibly could. And personally, I did this, which is why I know. So you can, within 2026 now, if you learn this, can turn your job into basically venture capital for your financial freedom. But you might be wondering, okay, why should you trust me? Well, I had this job right here, which is my corporate job that I've now quit for over a year, being now financial free. And what I mean by financial freedom is you can see this screenshot. I make $103K a year, which again allowed me to quit this job and now do whatever the hell I want, make these videos. You can see I've been consistently uploading 1 to 2 videos per week, which takes a lot of time. So in my free time, this is what I do after I make all that money. And you probably are wondering at this point, okay, you're probably going to sell me some business model or whatever. No, I'm not going to sell you a business model. Again, this is about your 9 to 5 and how to use it to fund your financial freedom. Not any specific business model that I'm using. I'm not going to sell you any course. I'm not going to tell you how to run an AI agency to make $1 million overnight, like all those finance gurus tell you online. What I am going to tell you is how to get your own version of financial freedom. And how I define that is a business that you enjoy running, a career that you enjoy working, or an investment strategy, you probably get the picture here, that you enjoy trading or investing. So basically, whatever thing that you would like to do in whatever topic that makes money, which allows you to just keep doing it and making money. That is financial freedom, how I define it. So if you want that, your own version of financial freedom, you're tired of all of the top 10 business models that all the financial influencers tell you, then listen up. For me personally, it took 2 years. I think it can take up to 5 years within that time frame, which is actually really fast because if you think about it, like 80 to 90% of the population never gets financial freedom. They're going to just work a miserable job for the rest of their life, the next 2 to 5 decades, not just working the next 2 to 5 years. So this is most definitely the faster alternative. I don't know of any faster alternative. If you know some faster alternative, then please tell me. But the fact that you're here, you probably don't know one. So let me give you one. First thing that you need to collect from your 9 to 5 is contacts. Safety contacts and then actual freedom contacts is what I will call it. What do I mean by safety contacts? Is since you're working your job right now, why are you working your job? You're obviously working your job because you need to. You have bills that you need to pay. You have money to buy groceries. You actually need to survive. So if whatever you're doing fails, you have that as safety. You have those people to contact to get you into another job that can earn you the income that you need to survive. And what I mean by freedom contacts is, say you're working a nice job, right? There's probably some pretty good people there, really high skilled. You can think about them, just take a mental note for all the people that could either later on down the line that you might want to hire because they have like a really good at some particular skills, could be sales, could be some kind of analytics, could be like admin type of things. Take note of them so you can contact them later to help you work on whatever you're working on, whatever it is. Or maybe even if you go into another career, you could just poach them over to the other company. And of course that will help you. Or if you've talked to them and they're genuinely super passionate about a particular goal, have a more different skill set than you, so you actually complement each other and you want to start a business together or start something together, what type of financial freedom that is, then again, those are the type of people that you want to keep on your contacts list. I would keep this in your mind the entire time that you're working so you can build up a really quality contacts list. And then also within the last month, the very least, you should get the safety contacts. But the entire time, always think about the freedom contacts. Honestly, your entire life, doesn't matter contacts. Everything should be viewed through the lens of your end goal, which is financial freedom, which is basically, if you really think about it, the thing that you want to set up, that you want to do for the rest of your life, which is why you always want to think about it for your entire life. Every single thing filters through the lens of the goal of your version of financial freedom. And by the way, if you have a 9 to 5 right now, you're earning pretty decent money, but you want to know how to make that next transition over to something else, or you are kind of like semi-financially free right now, you're running your own business, but you just want to make better use of your time and you want to interact with other people that are all actually pursuing the same goal, ambitious dudes in their 20s, then I actually have a free community that you can join in the top link in the description. So if you're interested, take a look at that. Or even if you're actually not sure about what version of financial freedom or what goal that you want to pursue, I do also have protocols that I personally use to help get more clarity on that and find something that is both profitable and that you enjoy. So again, if you're interested in that, it's free, top link in the description. Number 2, okay, so now that you have the contacts, which will keep you safe, or help you launch or take your version of financial freedom to the next level with help from other people. Now you have to look at yourself. You actually have to become a person that is able to get the financial freedom, able to accomplish whatever goal that you want to, right? What does that mean? That means skills. So the ability to do whatever it is that you say you're going to do. So how can you get these skills from your 9 to 5? Number 1, sponsored. Number 2, direct. And number 3, gleaned. So sponsored. For example, within my job right here, I had a budget that my company gave me to basically take any course that I wanted or learn from whatever. They'll give me the money. They'll basically pay me back an additional thing on top of my salary or bonus or all that stuff to learn that thing so I could bring those skills to the job. So if that skill is in alignment with your job or whatever you're thinking, it could maybe be like a sales coaching program or a presentation giving thing. You might be able to go to your employer, get that particular course sponsored so then you can learn a particular skill. So sponsored stuff is really good, but where I think the best skills come from are the more direct things and gleaned things. Direct things, let's say your job is sales. Obviously, you're going to learn the skill of sales. So don't just work your job and be like, oh yeah, my job is a sales. I'm just going to follow the script and I'm not going to think about things too much. No, genuinely try to do your job as best as possible. So be the absolute best salesman for your company. And sure, maybe you hate your company, but by being the best salesman possible, first of all, you're probably going to make money in your job. You're going to get promoted faster. And by those two things, you make more money. And by making more money, which is going to allow you to probably jump over to your financial freedom faster. On top of that, the act of going so hard for a company, whether you like it or not, you will learn skills faster, no doubt about it. And you can, most of the time, I think people can use whatever skills they learn in the job at whatever goal they want to pursue for the rest of their life. That is direct. And last one, gleaned. So what this means is, for example, you're working a job that is literally completely meaningless to your financial freedom. You're just like flipping burgers in the back, you're handling the cashier, and someone says they want one McChicken and then you give them one McChicken. How do you learn any skills from that? That is when you actually have to glean skills by doing additional things. So let's say you're working at a cashier at McDonald's or you're a barista. Someone says they want a coffee. They want a coffee. You could say, oh, I think a cookie would go well with that coffee. Would you like a cookie as well? Would you like to add that onto your order? Or maybe they ordered some burgers. Like, oh, I think some fries would go really well with that. Would you like to add some fries to your order? So you're working on upselling the customers. And that helps the McDonald's they work for. Sure, you might hate the company that you worked for. And even though you hate them, you might not want to help them out. But here's the thing. You're not trying to help them out. You're trying to help you out. If you want to learn sales, then that's absolutely a good thing to do. Or for example, you want to learn operations? Maybe you could do something with like the burger operations in your McDonald's, or start to try to work with your manager, talk to your manager and try to figure out if you could work in do a little bit extra with the operations, or talk to the franchise owner and whatnot. And sure, is he going to pay you for this stuff? Maybe not. But the thing is, if you do it, you do a good job, you learn the skills. Okay, yeah, again, you get the same effect as the direct skills, is which it could lead you to growing faster in your job, making more money. Making more money is get to goal faster. Or of course, you just simply learn the skill and then, okay, you're taking the skill away, which is going to pay off way more in the long term. So just be as creative as possible at ways you could learn any particular skill that you think you're going to need later on. But that also gets into money. Money is probably the most important thing, and you can have all the skills in the world. If you don't have money to simply survive, even just to survive, you're not going to make it any financial freedom, right? You could be the absolute best salesman in the world. If you don't have any money to buy food for tomorrow or for the next month or pay your rent, well, shit, not going to work. So how do you get the money you need for financial freedom? Number one, you need to save, or you need to be earning enough to keep yourself afloat. You can do both at the same time. So go from both angles, save and start earning more to keep you sustained. So what does this look like? If you want to be more on the safe side, you probably want to target the income. You want to have income enough where you know you can live. And this is building, let's say, your version of financial freedom on the side, which is building a business on the side, or very literally getting the second job on the side of in the other industry in order to make the income. For a job, honestly, is not as much of an issue because jobs inherently always generate some income. So then once you know you're able to hit a certain income, or actually hitting that particular income, if it's a business that you're doing or some sort of trading portfolio that you're running, then that's when you make the switch. That's probably the safest way. Second way that I think is personally quite risky is just to save enough for 5 years. Let's say it takes you 20K a year to just survive. That's rent, that's groceries, that's everything. Maybe you need more, maybe you need less. Just calculate this for yourself. That's what you can decide and only you can decide. But just using 20K as an example, that means you need 100K total to keep you sustained for 5 years. And that's assuming that you can get whatever goal that you're pursuing, whatever your version of financial freedom is in that 5-year time frame, then that 100K technically should be enough to get you running. Very risky though. And then if you do the both strategy, so you save the 100K and upfront before you leave your 9 to 5, you get the income that you need, then that's like the super safe. And usually if you do that, then you're absolutely good. When you now devote your full-time capacity to it, then usually things grow even more. But the thing is, no matter what on these 3 different things, if you collect them, regardless, the one thing that you need left is the ability to do deep work. If you can't do deep work, then you're never going to do the work that you need for the goal. And if you never do the work, obviously you're never going to achieve anything. If you want to learn how to do deep work, how I do deep work, even though I have basically 0 willpower, I'm serious about that, then watch this video next on how to do deep work anyways, even if you have no willpower.